Hey folks, one of the big questions I've seen it posted a lot lately is how can we do rhinestone templates with the Cricut Explorer and Design Space? Well, Design Space does not have this capability natively built in, at least not yet. I'm sure that's probably in the works somewhere. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, but wanted to show you how this can be done with the Design Space and Explorer. You just have to have some third-party software to create your template, or you can probably buy your templates from Etsy or something like that. And so I have invested a little bit of money into some supplies and try to figure this out so that I can share this with everyone. So what I did first is I went to Hobby Lobby, and they don't have a lot of rhinestone supplies. They have all of these like pre-made iron-on rhinestone things, but not a lot of supplies. They did have some things. I picked up a couple of these little packages of hot fix stones. These are 12 SS 3.5 millimeter stones, and then I bought some from Amazon, which were significantly less expensive. I just had to buy a little bit more, but I bought a package of 1,000 3mm stones for about, it's less than $5. I think it's like $4.49 or something like that. But if you want to just play around a little bit, you can go buy these little packs at Hobby Lobby just to get started. They're about $3 a pack, and they have 112 stones in each one of these. Now, Hobby Lobby does have this hot fix tape. This is kind of like transfer tape for vinyl. It's also just like the clear stuff that comes on top of HTV that you iron over top of. So after we lay out our rhinestones, we use this to apply to it and pick it back up and then apply it to the material and iron it on. One of the things you need is rhinestone template material to do this the best. I guess you could probably do some other materials or something to lay them out and place them by hand. It might be a little tedious, but I guess you could probably do that. But I went on to Amazon and bought this package from a company called Pazzles. It's a rhinestone refill kit. I'll put the link to it in the video description down below. And it came with 2 sheets of this rhinestone template material. It's 12 by 12. It's kind of thick, kind of a thick rubbery, has a temporary adhesive on the back so that when you lay it down on the backer board, there's 2 pieces of backer board in here for you to lay it onto and hold it in place while you place your stones. And then there are also 2 12 by 12 sheets of the hot fix tape as well, which is included all in that package. I'm wanting to say this was like $28 or something, but again, I'll put the link to it in the video description down below so you can get it. So for about 35-40 bucks, I had enough stuff to get me started and to help figure this out. Now, the key to creating the rhinestone templates is to use a third-party software. And in this case, you can use what I'm going to use is SureCuts-A-Lot version 4. Not SureCuts-A-Lot 4. You can buy the 4 Pro. You can buy just the regular version 4, which is I think $59 off of their website. I'll put the link to that down below as well, and show you how to do this. The way it works is it asks you for the size and shape of the stones, and then it will place those automatically on the path in your SVG file you're creating. So I've mentioned this before. If you imagine this, your blade or your pen in the Cricut, it moves along a path when you cut or write. That's why when you use a regular font to try to write, it outlines it instead of fills it in, and that's because it's a path. Again, that's the path it's going to move along. And so the software can take the size and the shape of the stone that you provide for it and tell it what you want to use, and it will automatically place those along the path. And then you save it as an SVG file and bring it into Design Space. Now there's a couple little tricks to that, and I'm going to switch over to the computer and show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how it cuts the template material and how to actually create lay the stones on it, apply the hot fix tape, and then iron it onto some material. So here I'm working within SureCuts-A-Lot version 4. Again, this is the regular version 4, not the Pro version, so it's the lesser expensive of the two. And what I want to do is insert a shape, and I'm going to insert this heart, and I'll adjust the size of it up to about 2.5 inches. So we can come over here and specify 2.5 inches,
And this is very important for you to remember what size this is. So you need to either do a screen capture or write it down, because when you import this into Design Space is not very good about maintaining the current sizes of SVG files. So once we bring it in, we're going to want to adjust that in Design Space. So now that we have our object, and you can do this with an object or a text or anything in Shortcuts a lot for, and we're going to right click on this object and click Appearance. And we're going to select Rhinestones. And I'm going to be working with SS10 round stones. And I'm going to click OK, and that's going to lay out my holes that are going to be cut for the rhinestone placements. And so I'm going to now go to File and Export. And I'm going to save this as an SVG file. And we can leave the default set and make sure that the Design Space compatible checkmark is selected. And now we'll switch over to Design Space. And so now in Design Space, we're going to go to Upload Images. We'll select Vector Upload. We'll browse for our image. And the preview looks good, so we'll save it. And now we'll select our image and insert it into our project. And now remember I said that the spacing would, or the size of the object would need to be adjusted. So we're going to select it and then click on the Edit tab. And as you see, it changed the size just a little. So we're going to set this back to 2.5 inches. And we're going to click Go. And our Cricut Explorer, I'll show you in a moment, that the dial is set to Fabric, which is about the 6 o'clock position. And I found that this cuts the template material very well without cutting the backing material that's on it. And I'll switch over to the camera and show you the rest of the process.
So here we have the dial set to Fabric, which is at the 6 o'clock position. And we're getting ready to load the rhinestone template material into the Cricut and actually cut it. And so there is our template cut. So now we'll remove it from the mat. And we'll cut the template out of the backing material, or the template material rather. And we should be able to remove that pretty easily. Sometimes the little cutouts want to cling to it, so you may have to individually weed them out just like you do with vinyl. And sure enough, as you can see, not all of them come out, so you can poke these through and weed them out just like you do with vinyl. And then I'll move around the camera and show you how we apply the rhinestones and how I fix tape on the backing board. Okay, so this is the backer board. It's just kind of a thick cardboard with a white surface that came with the Pazzles kit. And so this has a temporary adhesive, kind of tacky on the back, and you can lay that down just like that. And the other tools that I like to use for this, I kind of use my weeding tool, my tweezers, my X-Acto knife, the squeegee. There is a little brush that I don't have yet that I see a lot of people online that use, and so I'll dump some stones out on this. And this is just a little plastic vial that I had laying around that I thought would be good to use instead of the little baggies that they came in. So you spread that out and just kind of let the stones fall into place into the cutouts. And a lot of them will go in face up. When you use that brush, based on the videos that I saw online, it looks like most of them go in face up already. I'm not sure how they do that. It's kind of magical, if you ask me, but it does seem to work well. And this is a little bit longer of a process than what I see people doing them in other videos online, since I don't have that brush, but it gets the job done, and you're able to place these stones in there. You just got to get them flipped around the right way. I do recommend doing this in some kind of a tray. If you don't have a tray, you can use a cookie sheet. That way your stones don't get away from you and fall off the table like one just did for me. These are the tiny stones. They're kind of a pain to work with sometimes when they get flipped around the wrong way, but not too bad. So you get them to all fall in there. And it looks like I'll need a few more stones. These are hot fix stones, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. So you can use a heat press, or like with HTV, you can iron them on as well. Heat press is always going to get them on better, but these smaller designs, I seem to be able to iron them on just fine without any trouble. Your iron needs to be, according to the packaging, 325 to 350 degrees, I think it is. And you apply it for about 12 to 15 seconds. I think I did about 15 seconds. I use a Teflon sheet over top of them. I think if you use a pillowcase or something like that, you probably have to apply it for just a little bit longer to get the temperature up. And one more. And so now we have all of our stones laid into place. And we'll get rid of our extra stones here. Again, that little brush and I'm working in a tray makes this a lot easier from what I can tell. And I'll probably get some more of those supplies so that I have the right things if I'm going to do this down the road. But I just wanted to show you and communicate how I do this. So now all the stones are in place, and I like to go back over them, kind of tap them, make sure they're not going to pop out on me like that one did, and make sure they're in there in the right place good, so that when I apply the hot fix tape, I have a piece that I've already cut out. This is the hot fix tape that came with the Pazzles kit. Got another one out of place there, so we'll put that in place. And now, just like with vinyl transfer tape, you apply that, and I'm going to use my squeegee to kind of rub those in so that they adhere to the tape real well. And hopefully those will peel right off and come back up out of there and be on the tape. Do this kind of slowly to make sure they all come out clean. Lay that down, and as you see, that one came right up out of there. And so now we take our backing tape of this and we can apply it to transfer so that they don't get messed up. And now those are ready to iron on, and we'll go switch over to the ironing board and show you how to do this with the iron. Okay, so we're going to apply this rhinestone heart to this, and what I have is a Teflon sheet to iron over top of to protect the hot fix tape and the material and everything. And I've already turned the iron on and heated it. And if you don't have a heat press, here's a trick you can use. This is a temperature checker that like heating and cooling people use, and it uses an infrared sensor to detect temperature readings. So the surface of the ironing board is 76 degrees right now, and if I check the iron, you'll see, depending on where I point it, it's going to hit up around 300 to 350 degrees sometimes, and so it is plenty hot enough. It is a mirrored surface, so the infrared doesn't really pick up the heat accurately sometimes, but there you can see it's well over 300 degrees. So that's a little trick you can use. I paid maybe $15 for that online, I think. So it's a handy device. So now, just like with HTV, we're going to peel this off and place it. And the hot fix tape was sticky and tacky, so it will hold it in place. One of the things I should actually do before I apply this is just quickly run the iron over it to kind of warm up the material, and that will help a little. Put it in place, put your Teflon sheet over it, and apply the iron and hold it for about 15 seconds. You can kind of move it back and forth to make sure you're getting even pressure. And now that it's cooled off, we can remove the tape very carefully. You want to make sure it cools so that the adhesive cools a little bit. It looks like I have one stone that I got out of place a little bit right there, but that's okay for the purpose of the video. Just wanted to show you how this works. And there is our finished product. So as you can see, doing the rhinestone templates and applying the rhinestones with the hot fix tape and all, and the iron or heat press and everything, it's not really that difficult. You just have to know how to do it. Unfortunately, right now, to do it, you do have to buy an third-party software like Cricut a lot 4. Again, that's the regular version 4. It's like 59 bucks. It's not the version 4 Pro, so it's not really that expensive if you're going to get into doing rhinestones and doing them a lot. Rhinestones, HTV, in my opinion, is the stuff's kind of expensive to do anyway, because you probably have more waste. Those sheets to do the rhinestone templates are kind of expensive compared to other things. If you're doing basic shapes like this or designs that are going to be reused, they pay for themselves after you use them a couple times. If you're doing a lot of personalization, things like that, it's going to be more expensive because they're going to be one-time use type templates. So those are kind of the things you want to think about. Most of the time, people who are going to be doing rhinestones or HTV, they want to heat press, they're going to get into this, they're going to invest some money into it. So 59 bucks to be able to do that with ease. And Cricut Lot 4 has a lot more features in it than just the rhinestone templates. You can shadow fonts, you can create shadows on objects, you do a lot of other things real simply with SVG file creation that you cannot do natively in Design Space. And if you don't want to learn Inkscape and things like that to be able to do that, it's a pretty good little piece of software, and I'll have some more videos coming on that soon. But again, it's not that hard. It's not really that expensive. You have to buy the third-party software. You're going to have to buy your supplies and things anyway. So in my opinion, it's not that bad, and it's really easy to do, as you just saw the video. So hopefully, I just did something really basic, wanted to show you how to do it. Hopefully you guys can take this, make it your own, use the inspiration to really do some great designs and do what you want to do with rhinestones, and hopefully that helps some of you out. If my video has been helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel. And after you subscribe, be sure to click the little gear and check this box so that you'll receive an email notification when I upload a new video. You can also help support my channel by making a small donation on patreon.com/TroyYoung.